Tyrese, after two pretty painful ones in New York, how does one like this feel where you guys play the way you want for 48 minutes?
Yeah, it just feels good to get a win. But we got to understand at the end of the day, all we did was do our job and win, 2 games at home. So we understand the magnitude of Game 5, and we'll be prepared for that.
Pascal talked before the playoffs even about not getting too high after the peaks and too low after the low points. What does he say after a game like this, even though you guys did just play so well?
I think we all just communicated, just not being so amped that, the score was what it was, you know what I mean? I think just understand that this is, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you win or lose by, it's a win or a loss. It's all that really matters. So at the end of the day, all we did was, win a game and handle our business at home, truthfully. And now going back to the Garden where, we lost 2, felt like we should have got a win there. So we got to be prepared to go for 48 minutes when we get there.
Rick just mentioned how much confidence he has in TJ at all times, but just how much did he mean to you guys in that first quarter?
Yeah, just his energy. I mean, when he checks in, there's not many people in the NBA better at doing what he does, and that's bringing energy, off the bench. And so when he checks in, it allows me to play off the ball a little bit more. And at times, he might look at me like, oh, you got it, but I want him to run so I can kick it ahead so he can get downhill. But yeah, his energy is just contagious, and everybody kind of flows off of that.
Tyrese, knowing what was on the line this afternoon, what does it say about, not only yourself but your teammates on how you guys were able to step up but to dominate in the way you did here this afternoon?
I think just handling business, just doing what we're supposed to do at the end of the day, coming out playing the right way for 48 minutes, and that's really the most important thing for us. We just handled business from start to finish, and I think that's part of the maturation of this group, like we've talked about all year. And now we got to, truthfully flush that one. Obviously watch film tomorrow, but take the good with the good, learn from the bad, and be ready to go for Game 5 because that's a big game.
40 hours ago, we see you kind of limp out of here. You got 3 different injuries listed on the injury report. Just how good did that dunk feel for you in the first quarter to get out there, and just how good did you feel physically today?
Yeah, it felt good. We have the best medical staff in the NBA, so it's been around-the-clock treatment, all the things necessary for me to, be good to go, and I'm very appreciative of them. And now it's time for more treatment after this, and be ready to go for Game 5.
Tyrese, I know you've changed a lot since your rookie year, but you and Ben Shepherd both in your first playoffs. What has impressed you about him coming in and playing every game in this postseason as a first-year player and not missing a beat?
Yeah, I think I think the biggest thing for him and really our bench as a whole is just to come out, and the energy that they bring in and hard play really can adjust games. Now, there's going to be games where, they're not making shots or whatever the case may be, but when they come out with that energy, our first group, we kind of flow off of that, and I think it's important that we talked about the depth of our team all year, and there's been a lot of games this year where our starting group hasn't been right and our benches came in and picked us up, and there's been games this year where our bench hasn't been right and our starters have picked us up, so I think that speaks to the depth of our group, and what I think Ben does so well, and honestly, him and TJ are like this. They do everything together. They go to dinner every city we go to. I think he just sees how hard TJ plays and the energy he brings and just tries to flow off of that and match that. And I think that's, where he's been so good and just being ready to shoot. Early in the year, there was a lot of games where he wouldn't even look at the basket, and I think we've kind of bullied him into looking at the hoop, which has been good to see. But I'm just excited for him playing the right way and excited to see his growth moving forward.
14 points for them in the first quarter. Just what do you like about your defensive focus? I think it's a slow start for Brunson, slow start for DiVincenzo. Did you feel like you guys are a little more locked into your assignments defensively?
I mean, just showing our hands, understand that those guys are, elite, especially Jalen, elite at finding angles, shot fakes, getting you up in the air, drawing fouls, all those things. He's really good at that. So just showing our hands as much as we could and trying to make it hard on them, and then just finishing possessions with rebounds. And it's no secret that's the best offensive rebounding team in the NBA. So, just matching that energy for 48 minutes. And when we when they crash 5 guys and we rebound, that allows us to get out and play in transition a little bit more. So I think that was important in the first quarter to set the tone, and we really just flowed off of that.